My Michelle Live podcast.
My Michelle Live.
Thanks for joining into My Michelle Live today. We're actually behind the scenes live on TikTok too. Wherever you're listening or viewing, you can go to My Michelle Live and watch our live interviews. And we're everywhere you can find videos and podcasts and the like. Okay, today.
You're like the queen of all media. You're everywhere.
Not if you're watching on TikTok and you realize what really goes on behind the scenes. We're going to be looking at some news, some movie reviews, and we look at it from a family-friendly point of view, looking for the God story, a message of hope. And can we find it in entertainment? I say yes. Let's look at some news.
Entertainment news.
So here we go with the entertainment news. There's some interesting things happening. This image of, you remember this little gremlin guy? Yeah.
I remember standing in line on opening night.
Don't feed them after midnight.
Yeah,
Gremlins?
It was either 84 or 85.
I think it was 84. So Gremlins director.
This was one of the last movies that ended up being the push for the PG-13 rating because it was
gruesome. Yeah, it was a little bit gruesome. Gremlins director Joe Dante that directed this film, but he's convinced today that the idea of Baby Yoda was stolen right from his film. Gizmo was the wide-eyed mogwai, and they say he bears this, and he does. He bears a striking resemblance to Baby Yoda. So he's pretty upset about it, and his quote was, "Baby Yoda is completely stolen and just out and out copied from the cutest character in Gremlins, shamelessly," he told the San Francisco Chronicle, except for one forgotten fact.
Yoda existed before Gizmo.
Yeah, almost a decade before Yoda. Maybe Gizmo was just a cuter version of the green guru of wisdom, Yoda. So that was,
Yeah,
there it is.
Let's face it. Come on. It's like these people who file plagiarism suits because their songs sound the same.
There's only 12 notes in existence. And
Eddie Van Halen said it's what you do with them that matters.
First world problems, people. First world problems.
Seriously.
So, yeah, let's just take a look at Yoda. There's Yoda right there. And I'm just saying, there is a new doll for Barbie, and Barbie is mixing it up a little bit. New Barbie is made out of recycled plastic, and it plays tribute to Jane Goodall, who says this is absolutely delightful. And that's not it. Barbie is actually mixing it up a little bit. She is getting a little bit more diverse. They're making realistic body images, because we'll talk about that in a minute. There are Barbies that have prosthetic legs, one that has a skin condition like Michael Jackson had. So a little bit diverse, some of them with almost real body dimensions. So that's good for Barbie. I think that's pretty neat. Look at what entertainment does to body image.
Cartoon dimensions on humans.
Take a look at that. Creepy.
I like the Disney music.
Yeah, Disney music's great. No one looks like that. It's not only the makeup, and it's not only sometimes they use things to pull and to pinch and to clip people in uncomfortable ways, but the same folks, the VFX companies that make superheroes fly, buildings explode, they're coming in cleaning up crow's feet, erasing knees so that you don't really see them. Knees, of all things. And underarms. No one has underarms that are real anymore, so it's a little weird. So Barbie's doing some good and fighting back. I didn't need
I just
to see
felt
that.
compelled to do that.
Need to see that. I did.
Pay attention to those commercials that talk about, do you have flabby arms? And they won't be flabby anymore.
I just need someone to follow me around, with some VFX company to follow me around, and I will be there. And did you hear? There is actually a Barbie movie that's coming out.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, let's.
Hey Barbie, you're my only friend. I wish you were real.
And there you go. Okay, Barbie, let's go, Barbie. The Barbie movie, Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling play the famous duo Ken and Barbie in this upcoming film. And apparently, Ryan Gosling has now coined the phrase Kinergy. He believes that he has it. Kinergy is a thing, he says, and he has got Kinergy. Do you have Kinergy, Adam Holtz?
Well, no, I'm still getting over COVID 13 weeks later. I don't think I have any
I
energy.
don't have it. I don't have any Kinergy. Sorry about that. As a segue, I was going to try to come up with a Thor phrase to compete with Kinergy, and the best that I could do in my head was like Thor Evermore or Thorosaurus Rex.
Day. Do you know where the word Thursday came
It
from?
came from Thor.
Day.
All right, so it's Thor's Day, and because it's Thor's Day,
Dude has 1/7 of the days. I think that's enough for him.
that's all he needs. He doesn't need another phrase. This is a kind of a
No.
funny story that is coming out of the world of Thor. Apparently, Natalie Portman and have been doing a lot of interviews, and it's come to light that Chris Hemsworth eats 10 meals a day, 10, 4,500 calories daily to maintain that God of Thunder figure, right? A day.
Somebody's got to look like a Norse god, and thankfully I don't have to carry that burden because it feels like it would be a lot.
Yeah, but we still could sometimes consume like 4,500 calories a day.
That's no problem.
I mean, I'm supposed to be impressed with that.
One of those mixer drinks with the candy bar in it, and like even the ball is 780 calories. I'm like, dang, no wonder I can't lose weight. I mean, it's all
That's a funny story that Natalie Portman is actually a vegetarian. And she says, this guy eats meat like every half hour. But before their on screen kiss, he gave up meat so that she wouldn't have to consume meat as she's consuming him. So there you go.
Did you hear the other Natalie Portman story? I'm going to mispronounce his name, but the director, is it Taika Waititi?
And you're asking me.
No,
Awkward.
it's really, I see it and I have no idea how to pronounce it. Anyway, they were like doing the movie, and he's going to be doing a new Star Wars movie, and he comes up to Natalie Portman and says, have you ever wanted to be in a Star Wars movie?
What?
He totally forgot that she was in the 3 prequels. Talk about a faux pas.
Oh, you just offended all of our Star Wars watchers.
He completely forgot about
Oh, that's bad. That's really bad. Shark Week is coming up, and it's going to include Dwayne Johnson as the
Right.
host.
I didn't know that. This excitement is genuine. I'm not faking it. It is destination television for my family every year. We watch it every night. It's the same thing every year. Sharks
You watch
swimming
it.
and eating.
That's
But
it.
we can't stop watching it. So excited.
You
When's it start?
baby shark, you baby. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Dwayne Johnson is going to be the host. And I'm thinking, what could make it better than Dwayne Johnson going one-on-one with a great white?
That'd
Come
be
on.
great. You know that I
Am I right?
continue to take us off into the weeds in non-directions, but did you happen to do you watch the episode with Shaquille O'Neal? It was hard to say which was more terrifying to him, the sharks or just being like he didn't want to be in the water. And it was like sometimes you can tell actors are faking things for the sake of comedy. Dude was not faking. He did not want to be with those sharks.
Yeah,
And
that's pretty good. So
was
if when that comes up again, be sure you watch it because I thought that was pretty
was-
funny. My final news story today is kudos to my favorite football Hall of Fame coach, Tony Dungy. This week,
Oh.
Tony Dungy did a lot of tweets, just talking with people and sharing truth from science, from philosophy, and from the Bible to defend the unborn in a time where it's such a big issue. So you might want to look up some of those Tony Dungy tweets. Good for you, Tony. I love the man. Let's get into some movie reviews. Paws of Fury.
Yeah, it's available like in theaters.
Okay.
If you want to spend your hard-earned money and you want to pay for the gasoline to get to a theater and you lay awake at night thinking,
Ah,
Of that Kung Fu Panda movie, I wish they would do something else like that. Maybe have Samuel L. Jackson pretending to swear, but not really because it's a kid's movie.
Oh,
This could
right.
be
There you
the
go.
movie for you. Are you picking up on my sarcasm?
I am a little bit. Let's take a look at the
Yeah.
trailer.
Wow, I did not see that coming. We need a new samurai.
Okay, here goes nothing.
What the mother, father, cocker spaniel's going on here?
Oh, okay. I see what you're talking about.
That's what I'm
there.
talking about.
Ouch. I don't know what.
Yeah.
As you're watching, listening, or viewing, comment. I'd like to know what you think. Is that okay? Is it? Yeah, it's funny, and yeah, it's probably navigable. He's not really saying anything, but as a parent, looking at it through parents' eyes, I don't know about that.
Yeah, honestly, that's as much of the movie as you really need to see. Okay. So it's a movie about dogs and cats. That's the short version. The longer version is crazy long because it has an incredibly complicated plot that no 5-year-old is likely going to follow. But it essentially sets up this battle between this dog, whose name, of course, is Hank, which I suppose is a good name for a dog. The cats rule the world.
Of course.
The leader of this city puts Hank in charge of a little town that he wants to destroy, hoping that the cats will kill him so that he can imprison them all and bulldoze the town before the Shogun shows up, and he wants to impress the Shogun, who's played by Mel Brooks, by the way, who's 96 years old.
Oh,
In case you were wondering. I looked at
he's still making movies. He's still around. Yeah, come on.
Blazing Saddles Reloaded without everything that was bad about Blazing Saddles that you would never want your kids to see.
All right, enough
With
said.
Samuel L. Jackson, and scenes like the one we just saw. If animals being stuck in other animals' backsides is your cup of tea,
Then this
you
is
know
the film
this
for
movie.
you. Okay. Another film where the crawdads sing. It looks promising.
Like you, I heard the tall tales told about the marsh girl, an abandoned child.
I had a family once. They called me Kaya.
A little girl surviving in the marsh on her own, reviled and shunned.
Hello, Miss Kaya.
I hear y'all buy mussels.
Sometimes I feel so invisible.
Wow. It looks really intriguing. And I'm interested to hear what you have to say about this Crawdad movie.
I think that it is intriguing. It's a very well done story. I would say it's part drama, part thriller, part almost John Grisham-esque kind of story. It's also based on the best-selling novel in 2022. This thing is big. It's so big that we have a copy ourselves. So I know that when we're involved, it must be big because sometimes we're late to the party on these things. But as you see there, it's about a girl who has a very abusive father. Her mom and siblings leave, and she gets left behind with the dad. And then he gets taken out of the picture. She literally is left to grow up in the marsh, in the swamp by herself. Now, you have to suspend disbelief a fair bit just to buy that premise. But then she grows up, and of course, she's stunningly beautiful. There's a nice guy, there's a predatory guy who tries to assault her. I haven't read the book. We had somebody on staff who read the book and saw the movie, and she said the movie actually dials it back content-wise from the book because there's a very close to a rape scene in the book that's really intense that they back off a little bit here, at least to PG-13 territory. But it does become this sort of
Thank you.
commit this murder? Did she not commit the murder? And the film asks us to play with the question of if she did, was it justified? You know, we've got violence, we've got a fair bit of sexual content.
Okay.
So not a movie for kids, but not sure it's the kind of movie most kids are going to be.
They wouldn't be all that interested in anyway. Okay. I got
And
you.
I want to retitle it, by the way. I want to call it, I Know What the Crawdads Did Last Summer.
All right. In the interest of time, one more movie that I'm going to recommend, and it's called The Sea Beast. And it was a surprise animated film that I thought was great. I
Yeah.
loved it. It is reminiscent to me of some of the old school animated entertaining films
Yep.
that don't have agendas, aren't pushing things down your throat. It
Just
was
monsters and a little girl.
yeah, and it has an engaging message that isn't political. It was well done, funny, and I'm thinking, why didn't I hear about this? Let's look at the
There was a time when sea beasts would ravage our shores, and no ship was safe on the sea. But those days are over. Today, valiant warriors battle the beasts far beyond the horizon. You're Jacob Holland, a weapon against nature's darkest design. And I'm joining your crew.
Oh, no, you ain't.
Hey, put me down! Let me go!
is darling. We're out of time for today. That is my recommendation. Real quick, anything coming up that we can look forward to for next week, Adam?
What is coming up next week? I don't know. Go watch the one you just talked about.
There you go. And you can go
I'm even gonna try
to
to fake it.
you
I
can
didn't
go to
look.
pluggedin.com, get reviews of movies. Doesn't tell you what you should watch, just gives you the tools to make that choice for yourself for books, movies, YouTube channels. We're going to take a look at a trailer of a film, Strong Fathers, Strong Daughters, and we're going to talk to a couple who are a couple in the movie, where there's a couple of couples who are real couples in the movie Strong Fathers, Strong Daughters. We'll take a look at that, and we'll look forward to catching you next time, Adam.
Sounds great. Thanks, Michelle.
A man can argue with friends and colleagues whether God exists. But when he looks at his daughters, you, Zoe, and Abby, the best three things in my life, he just knows.
Buenas noches!
I got a surprise for you. This is why we sent you to business schools.
I'm getting married.
What?
In 3 weeks.
What? You don't even know this kid.
This is for you.
Think of it as gaining a son.
What happened?
Stop being happy!
It's like I don't even know my daughter.
Not fair!
She's 16. She's not done cooking yet.
Can we microwave her?
Can't wait for you guys to meet his parents.
Wonderful to meet you.
With 3 daughters, this is wisdom, my friend. Read carefully.
Looks like it's been through battle.
Consider it a field manual.
So glad to continue entertainment. In fact, I'm going to recommend it. Couple thumbs up.
Way up.
That's right. And joining me, Maria Canals Barrera and David Barrera. And yeah, there's no coincidence that their last names are the same, because though they play mother and father of the groom in the film, they're actually married in real life. I'm glad to have you guys.
Thank you. It's so cool to be here.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
And thanks for recommending the film.
Absolutely, yeah. We're going to talk about why I liked it and what I liked about it in a moment, and get some inside look with you guys. But I was going to ask you, what is it like to have a husband and wife working together? I'm like, I'm not going to ask that. Everybody knows we went through COVID. It's the same. It's just right.
What's interesting is some married couples that are actors enjoy working together and some don't. The familiarity sometimes gets in the way of their process, and sometimes it adds. For us, it's always been a positive, thank God, because we've done it like 3 times already.
Yeah.
Have you
And
really?
we enjoy it very much, especially with such a meaningful film like this. And the fact that the bride's parents were also a married couple actors, Robin Lively and Bart Johnson, was terrific.
Yeah, because it was great, because we'd have conversations off set, just 2 married couples talking shop.
Yeah,
And
it was really great.
That dynamic does play off on screen, and it brings the production quality up. And I did want to mention the production quality. One scene at the end in particular that may just escape people, but when you watch a film and the production quality's there, father of the bride is watching the bride drive away in a kind of almost broken down Volkswagen bus, a yellow bus, backfiring. He's holding a yellow balloon. He lets the yellow balloon go up into the air, and the bus is driving off. Now, it's not overplayed, but a beautiful moment. And because it's done right, boom, production quality. So there's a lot of that in this film. Did you feel that as actors? Because you both have impressive backgrounds. David, I know you have 100 films and television shows to your credit. So you know the difference between, okay, this is all right, and wow, this is pretty impressive.
Yeah, and there's also the difference between like certain films can have the same budget as far as production, but then some producers are able to elevate that budget into making it look like you take a $500,000 budget and make it look like a $2 million budget because of the way you use them to add to the production value. And I thought that they did a great job on this film of just taking every opportunity to make that, to elevate that production value in order to make it a much more enjoyable experience for the audience. Because I think audiences, even though they may not be media savvy, I think catch on to stuff that's cheesy, but they may not realize that they cut some corners in some areas, and that's why it didn't feel right as an audience member.
And I have to credit our director, David DeVos, and our one of our main producers, Brady Nasfell.
Incredible.
For just caring so much since day one from the script, also co-written by Andrea Nasfell, the message, the cohesiveness, the casting, the wording of things, the just caring about every step of the way, the shot, what we were saying, doing, relating the costumes that we would wear. Just when there's such care from the very beginning, genuine care, it's going to end up beautiful. I'm so proud of it. I'm so glad that we did it. And we just watched it for the first time.
Oh, did you?
Recently.
You liked it, didn't you? I mean, it was good.
Loved it.
Oh, we loved it.
Right? Our teen daughters, like from the very beginning, were like, I love this movie.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes, that's so great.
And you have teen daughters, strong fathers, strong daughters you can totally relate to. And your daughters are in the industry as well. Yeah, great all around film. And Maria, you mentioned cheesy, and I don't know how familiar you are with the history of faith-based films, but cheesy and faith-based films have had a history of running congruent. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think that's really unfortunate. And of course, people are very quick to criticize anything that is righteous or tries to give a righteous message. So they really don't get a fair shake to begin with. So that's why I'm hesitant as somebody who loves God to dismiss a film, because I know that they're trying when it's got a faith message. And I think that sometimes it's irresistible to get to the lesson before letting it naturally roll out in some of these films that are characterized as cheesy. So I think it's desire to do something good, but not necessarily going about it in the careful, slower, perhaps even more painful way. Sometimes it's hard to get through the muck to get to the blessing. And some people just don't want to go through it and want to get to the good message. But sometimes you have to go through the ugly for the good message at the end to really sit and really sink in. And I like that this film had the courage to do that.
Yeah,
to go through the painful scenes that we go through as parents in raising our children and making mistakes and hitting brick walls to get to the good part, the feel good part. And I think that's why it's so effective, our movie, Strong Fathers, Strong Daughters, and founded in a book that doesn't hold back when it comes to truth telling, which is Meg Meeker's book, Strong Fathers, Strong Daughters.
David, did you read the book? Did it influence how you parent your girls?
I did. Part of my research was reading the book, and our girls are already 16 and 18. But one of the great things that I found in the book was that some of the lessons in the book we were already doing.
Really?
We
Give me
took
an
parenting
example.
classes and stuff like that. So it affirmed some of the stuff that we did with our girls. So I love the book, and I've been recommending it to young fathers with daughters since I read it. It's amazing.
Hey, and it's never too late. Fathers shape their daughters' self-esteem, body image, which is so important at this time in history, academic abilities, and how we even relate to, Maria, you were mentioning your faith. How you relate to a heavenly father, it makes it easier when you can relate to an earthly father.
Totally. And sometimes it makes it harder if you didn't have a good relationship with your earthly father to think, wow, there really is a heavenly father that has the right answers and does love me. And yes, and one of the things that David grew up with 6 sisters, and David was also raised in a home that loved God. And so he did have some of those instincts already. And of course, there's only more to learn and get better at it. It's a never ending process as a parent, first and foremost, to let God mold us and heal our wounds and have the courage to get to work on healing our own wounds so that we can help our separate individual children with their different wounds. And if you're a parent, you probably know what I'm talking about. It's a never-ending list of things to work on, but to not be afraid to get in there. And I think that's the number one message that Meg, I think, underscores a lot, which is don't think the fact that you have to be perfect, dads. The fact that you are willing, that you want to talk to them, that you want to listen to them, that you want to spend time with them is 80% of what they need.
And that was one of the great things that I that not surprised me, but it was, we all think of strong fathers, like strong, authoritative fathers, right? But that's not necessarily what she means in the book. What she means by strong is being able to have the courage to have the uncomfortable conversations, to be vulnerable, to be strong enough to be vulnerable, to be strong enough to spend time when you don't, maybe sometimes you don't feel like spending time. That's where the strength comes in, is being able to say, this conversation makes me a little uncomfortable, but I'm going to have it because my daughter's worth it.
And it's more important to learn it and hear it from a source of unconditional love like your parent than somebody else out there that doesn't have their best interests in mind.
No.
And here we are talking about some deep truths to life. And you get this in a rom-com, which I think is pretty spectacular. Rom-coms are not always easy to make. Again, this goes to production value and great directing and fabulous acting, because they can come off as a little hokey. But this one is spot on, well done, and a lot of fun. So you have a very serious and important message in this world, and you've seen it, I'm sure, in the acting world and the scripts and the sides that you get. Fathers are the idiots. Fathers are the fools. Fathers are unnecessary. Fathers are downplayed and made fun of.
Yeah.
So what I liked about this film, though, is there is actually a little bit of that. A little that you see, but it's also played in a realistic way and plays up the important role of fathers as well. So you played a father in the film. Kudos, because that played off well. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it goes down to casting, right? You want to cast the right people that are able to pull off these types of lines, these types of scenarios. And that goes to the producers and the directors who really chose carefully who they wanted. And that just makes the film so much better, to be able to deliver these lines in a way that's not cheesy, from truth, not trying to go for the laugh or whatever it is, but just in truth. And I think Bart did an incredible job as the lead. Such a hard role to pull off. I think he was just amazing. It goes down to his likability and his depth and everything that he brings to a role. He's just an amazing guy.
Yeah,
you're right about how I guess the pendulum swung so far in making fathers idiots, because perhaps the shows of yesteryear, The Father Knows Best and all that, people may have thought, what a funny idea if he doesn't, and he's just a goofball. And of course that's funny, but I think when it's so consistent and for so long, people didn't realize that there's real world consequences to upholding that idiocy as that's good enough. And it's coming back to, you can be a fun dad and you can be imperfect, but you can also really take a stand for your kids. Okay, let's bring that pendulum back to some more realistic and positive portrayals of dads, because dads are supposed to be fun. Dads are naturally more physical with their kids, and the wrestling and all that. That's something that is scientifically there about dads being more physical and stuff. But dads can also be the protectors and be fun at the same time. And that's what I love about our movie. Like you said, there's a lot of humor to life and to growing up and to parenting. And there's also a lot of important moments where you make the right decision, and sometimes the kids don't see it right away, but they see it later.
Let's talk about faith in the movie. Faith has obviously got to play a certain role in your life because it's really hard to fake that level of faith. And it must have been fun then as faith people doing a faith film. We all have jobs out in the real world. A lot of us, not all of us are in the ministry, but when we do get to do something that is so tied into faith, it takes it next level, doesn't it?
Oh, totally.
Absolutely. I have one of the lines that says, I don't know if I give a spoiler, but a line that says, we raise our daughters and then we let them go. And it's almost like you're saying, and the book says you trust God in letting them go. And I think having experienced that in my life, knowing how much to let go and trusting God that God's going to have their back informs those lines, because I've lived those painful times of not wanting to let go, but knowing that God is ultimately worthy of my trust. And so when you say those lines, like you said, you can't really fake those lines. And so that's where an actor brings from their personal experience. And then it becomes, oh, okay, that's a true thing he's saying because it comes from truth.
Yes.
You know?
Honestly, you have these truths in the movie, but it is in no way preachy. And my final question, every film that I've ever been associated with that is a faith-based film, whether I've acted or produced or whatever I've done, but in talking to people, there seems to be something that happens, something that you couldn't have paid for, something that you just go, oh, whoa, God must be involved in this. Just what is that one thing that comes to mind in this production that you just go, I can't believe this happened?
Firstly, that we go to the same church as the producer.
Really?
And he was like, my wife and she was a writer, and he's like, David would be really good for that script you're working on, because he knew him personally.
We've had parenting conversations in class, in our parenting class.
Yeah, the fact that both the parents of the groom and the parents of the bride are really married couples. It's not like they looked for, let's hire really married couple actors to be the parents.
And one couple, come on, but two? That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, and the fact that, oh my gosh, so many moments. The fact that the director cared about what we had to say from the very first meeting about our characters.
And about our faith.
It was just like, I felt God just working from the beginning to the very end. Certain lines that were fought for, certain lines that were given to me that I felt strongly about. There were several of those moments, Michelle, where I felt like, oh, God is so involved in this. And I'm so glad to be part of it.
I'm so glad you put it out there. Honestly, in the film, the final thing that I want to say to the audience is that you will be inspired. There are some tear moments, and I watch and review a lot of movies, and yet I'm like, oh, that's just so touching. You tease but break stereotypes. Hispanic roles, hi, I'm a Hispanic girl, are often this goofy, over the top, but your Hispanic roles were beautifully presented. They were fun. They were at times comedic, and flirted with the way we see Hispanics, but broke that mold. And the same with fathers and even daughter relationships. So the levels, and this is part of that God story, the levels that we see in this film, it's hard to bring that together in a human regard without a little divine intervention. If you want to see a film that will just bless your socks off, now we have a couple new friends in the film industry that you'll look forward to seeing there too. Guys, thank you for your time today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
For more fun, go to mymichellelive.com.